Krissy Vann joining you in for Gary Archibald on what I feel are pleasant conditions. All you have to do is look back to what we dealt with in February, and these evening temperatures end up looking fantastic. 6 in Oakville, 4 in Toronto, 6 in Barrie, and those are your evening temperatures. I know we had an overcast day, but things will clear out for the overnight. 3 in Oakville, 1 in Orangeville, 1 in Oshawa. And then as we head in through our Wednesday, we'll see those little hints of sunshine. There could be a little bit of fog in the morning hours. I know at the Toronto Island Airport through the morning, they had freezing fog that reduced visibility. That'll burn off through the day. Then your high in Oakville will be 6, Niagara Falls at 5, 7 in Oshawa. Thanks, Mark. Never fun when you end up in one of those, but luckily maintenance crews, I know, hard at work to get things patched up, and luckily the pothole situation not as intense as last year. What has been intense is winter throughout the south. You can see all this Gulf moisture now coming up. This is going to be our story into the weekend, but with the spring season, flooding starts to become a major concern. Now, looking ahead for us in southern Ontario, Wednesday, Thursday, you can see relatively quiet. All that moisture stays to the south, but watch what happens as we head into this weekend. The low starts to creep up, and Saturday, yes, it is right over us. And basically, what we're in for depends on your temperature. So in Niagara Falls, Saturday, 4 degrees, seeing that mixing. Of course, Niagara Falls may be a destination you're traveling to for March break. If you can believe it, it's already next week. Saturday in Barrie, 2 degrees, and again, into that mixing. But as we make our way into the city of Toronto, quite possibly, we could see some hints of sunshine and a high of 3 degrees. They are making its way to us. That's why we have warmed up. We're into the zonal flow with the jet stream, so that means the mild air moving along from west to east. How long will it last? We'll keep it here. We'll have your long-range details coming up. Well, those were some dramatic winter scenes there in your force of nature. Krissy Vann joining you in for Gary Archibald. And as you can see, well, winter's still evident in southern Ontario. This is the snow that we have on the ground. So in the whites, you can see to the north along the Erie shores, 30 centimeters and above. And for a wide swath of southern Ontario, we are looking at that 5 to 15 centimeters on the ground. Where does it all go? Well, with more, we have Kelly Noseworthy. Let's face it, it's getting well used this year. Of course, in southern Ontario, we've had a bit of winter reprieve. I've been enjoying it. I hope you have as well. We will continue to see that milder air. The cooler air starts to move back in Thursday, but we're going to rebound as we head in through the middle of the week. I'll show you what I mean. Well, later in the week, not the middle, rather. Thursday, 1 degree for the city of Toronto, freezing mark for Hamilton. But by the time we get into Friday, you're right around seasonal. Barrie, you actually bump up to 5 degrees with that mix of sun and cloud. Looking ahead for Orangeville at the freezing mark Thursday, a little bit better Friday at 4. And look at this, Richmond Hill Wednesday, a high of 6 degrees. So there is hope. You know, we're in the home stretch for getting to spring, but we still have that battle between the 2 seasons to contend with, and that's evident for us on Saturday. I know many of you are going to be traveling for March break. We have all this Gulf moisture moving in from the south. So we're looking at rain to the south, snow to the north, and basically it'll depend on your temperature in regards to what type of precipitation you see. But overall, on the highlight map, you can see unsettled conditions for Ontario. Not going to be so bad, though, in the city of Toronto. You may get a peak of sunshine, 3 degrees, but again, could see those pop-up showers. Hamilton as well, looking to get into that mixing, 3 degrees, but it is going to feel like the freezing mark, and same goes with your 7-day for Barrie. Look at this, though. I did mention Barrie, you're getting up to 5 degrees. You drop down to 2 with some unsettled conditions through the weekend, and then rain by Monday. I don't know about you, but that is a sign of spring for me. I love hearing the rain, having the windows open to enjoy it. As for Oshawa, mix of sun and cloud for the most part till you hit Saturday, where you could see a shower. Krissy Vann joining you, and yeah, it is already getting close to March break, if you can believe it. And here we have kind of a sampling of some of the temperatures if you're traveling stateside. In Las Vegas, 24 and overcast. In Miami, 29 degrees and 12 degrees in New York. We head further south. If you happen to be heading to a tropical destination, it's looking good for you. You're talking 28 in Kyoto, 33 in Aruba, 29 in Antigua, and all that sunshine. I can literally only dream of temperatures like that right now. Same goes if you happen to be heading to Acapulco, a high of 34. I forget what that feels like. 34 in Acapulco with sunshine, and in Panama City, 35 degrees with some overcast skies. So the outlook is looking good in that regards. But for us in Ontario, all I'll take this warm up. Wednesday, we'll see a bit more of the sunshine. Today, basically what's happening, we have all this moisture coming up from the Gulf, and that's what's kind of bled into us, giving us the overcast skies. But tomorrow, we should see a little bit more of that sunshine. 4 in Kitchener, 5 in Toronto, 5 in Newmarket. So a bump above our seasonal. I mean, this time of year, we should be sitting at around 4 degrees. Looking ahead, though, right now, we're pretty protected by a block of high pressure. What we're watching for is heading into the weekend, and Saturday, I know a big travel day for many with March break. You can see this Gulf moisture merging in with this low here. And what we're talking is potentially mixing and snow for some. It's all going to depend on your temperature. You can see in Toronto a high of 3, seeing that isolated shower. In Oshawa as well, could see a couple showers at 3 degrees. But in areas like Hamilton, you're fluctuating there, so you could get into periods of mixing. So plan ahead. Take along the Weather Network app if you're planning on traveling. Day yesterday. Krissy Vann joining you in for Gary Archibald, and looking at our overnight temperatures, I'll take this after the frigid record-breaking February. 3 degrees in Toronto overnight, 3 in St. Catharines. Heading further to the north, we are looking at a little bit of mixing and rain, but staying dry for you in southern Ontario. Wednesday, we're going to see a little bit more sunshine. Today, we picked up on a lot of that Gulf moisture that's stateside, so it didn't rain, but we had quite overcast skies, but a bit more sunshine through the day Wednesday. 5 in London, 5 in Barrie, 6 in St. Catharines. So we're starting to get that bump above the freezing mark and also our seasonal normal. Looking ahead at our temperatures, we look good for Wednesday, but we do dip down a little bit cooler Thursday before that warmer air starts to funnel in yet again. I'll give you a peek of the 7-day forecast, and one day of note is Saturday. Depending on where you are in southern Ontario, you have to watch out for periods of snow and mixing. You're at a high of 3 degrees in the city of Toronto. Look at this gorgeous sight, though. This is the weather, and can't blame you for busting out the shorts. Look at these Monday record-breaking temperatures. Kelowna reached a high of 18.8, and we saw high teens across the board. Not quite like that yet for Ontario. Coming up, we'll talk more about the weekend storm. Thanks for that, Emily. And of course, you can catch more news in a minute at theweathernetwork.com and some great articles on our website as well. Krissy Vann joining you in for Gary Archibald, and looking at our overnight temperatures, you know, I'll take this compared to the frigid minus 30 wind chills we saw throughout February. Looking at 1 degree in Kitchener overnight, 3 in Toronto, 1 in Newmarket. Clearing skies. I know we did have some overcast skies plaguing us through the day, and that's because of this. All this Gulf moisture to our south is what gave us the overcast conditions. To the north as well, you can see snow, but quiet right throughout southern Ontario. In the morning hours Wednesday, there could be some periods of fog. I know at the Toronto Island Airport this morning, there were some very foggy conditions, but that'll burn off throughout the day, and then we will have a mix of sun and cloud. Looking ahead at your temperatures, well, we get to keep the milder air, except on Thursday, where we dip down to the 1 degree mark, but we'll rebound. You can see in Barrie Friday back up to 5 degrees. Now we are going to join Mark Robinson, who is upgraded from his winter jacket to a lighter spring version. Thanks, Mark. Well, you know, we'll take what we can get when we come to temperatures, but to give you an idea where he's heading, let's say in Calgary, Alberta, they've been in the mid-teens all week long. Looking ahead to Saturday, that looks like our next active spell to the south. You can see all this moisture moving up from the Gulf, and that could mean some snow for some, mixing for others. We are looking at an unsettled Saturday overall, but it's not going to be a total washout. You can see in the city of Toronto, there could still be peaks of sunshine reaching 3 degrees, and in through Barrie, 2 degrees, and dealing with that mixing. So do watch out if you are traveling. There you go, a look and force of nature of some creative ways to get through the winter season. Krissy Vann joining you in for Gary Archibald, and this is a well-deserved break from the frigid February we had. Finally, temperatures above seasonal. Pearson reached 5.6 degrees on Monday. Hamilton at 6.9. All that salt off. And I literally went at 6 in the morning. It was about the only way. Looking ahead through the evening, going to be rather mild. 3 in Kitchener, 5 in Hamilton, 4 in Oshawa. So pleasant conditions if you've been itching for the warmer temps. And we stay above seasonal through the week. So sun and cloud for your Wednesday. High pressure in place. 3 in Orangeville for your high. 5 in Toronto, 6 in St. Catharines. And it stays pleasant into Thursday, although we will be dipping down closer to that freezing mark. Of course, with temperatures fluctuating, Mark, 'tis the season of potholes. With you there, Mark, although I had a different situation. I encountered one of those big crater-like puddles, wasn't wearing my rain boots. So I guess there are some negatives to the warm-up, but I'll take it. Looking ahead through our week, though, you can see that some of that cooler air does start to drag back down. We're really, though, starting to see those yellows push up from stateside, which is excellent news. This is how the 7-day forecast shapes up, and this is what I mean. By Thursday, we're back to 1 degree, but then we're seasonal as we head into the weekend. We do have the potential of getting into some mixing Friday overnight into Saturday. And then looking ahead, well, guess what this is? March break. Monday, a pleasant 5 degrees, but cools off by Tuesday. You may want to plan some indoor activities, but in BC, it has been feeling spring-like, and we have had some amazing conditions. This is a look in Abbotsford, British Columbia. Shorts weather must be nice. They have had record-breaking temperatures. So unfortunately, we're not quite here yet. Kelowna reached 18.8 degrees, a record broken from 2005. And you can see, well, we just want them to share the warmer weather. Luckily, we're getting a little bit closer ourselves here.